Hello, everyone. I'm that one nerd, Jacob.
And I'm that one, Scout Collins.
Happy Veterans Day.
Belated Veterans Day.
Yeah.
So we're recording this on the Sunday, the day before, prior to Veterans Day.
Caleb, are you today's date? Because I think you're an 11 out of 10. Only Americans would get that because anywhere else in the world it would be 10-11. Freaks.
I mean, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, that's still pretty good. 10 out of 11.
Yeah, that's an A. That's an A.
That is a solid A, an A tier face of mine. So yeah, it's the day before Veterans Day. This thing comes out 2 days after Veterans Day, so we're well within the reasonable time frame to drop episode.
Reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually a third generation service member myself.
See, cool. I knew about your mom. Was one of your grandparents service as well?
Mm-hmm. My father's father was a soldier. He was a 11 Charlie. That is a mortarman. You know the guys that would run around with the tubes and they go. Whoop,
yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. He got the joy of making thing go boom.
Yes, he was. He graduated a sergeant. Graduated. He retired. He got out. He escaped as a sergeant first class.
Escaped?
Well, they were trying to promote him to first sergeant for a little bit there, which means he'd be in charge of an entire company of idiots, and he wanted nothing to do with that.
He said, "Nah, y'all ain't putting me in this situation."
Because you know who has to show up every time a dude gets arrested for drunk driving?
That guy.
That guy. Imagine you're trying to sleep at 3:30 in the morning, and then it's like, "Hey, Private Jack-Off over here."
Private Jack-Off!
He got drunk and drove into a tree. Don't worry, he's still alive. Well, good. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
What the hell?
I mean, that's just how it is.
Why is this one strand of hair wanting to be a bitch? Let me show off my fucking forehead hair. I'm trying to be like Caleb over here. Look at that fucking forehead.
Thank you. I don't know. I feel like my forehead, if it was smaller, wouldn't quite look right because I got such a big face. I feel like if I had big face, tiny forehead, I'd look a little bit like Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
Ah! Viewers of those nerds on a podcast.
A scout? That one Scout Collins.
A nerd? That one nerd Jacob!
They always draw you with the headphones during the fucking
Dude, they do.
Too.
Anytime someone's like, draw Jacob, draw that one nerd Jacob. It includes two things, always. Glasses, and it's always either silver or gold, because these are technically clear frame, but it's also gold underneath. And headphones. Like, does not matter. Like, at this point, you guys want to see something cursed? Boom, me without headphones. How does that make you guys feel? How does that make you guys feel? Like, do I seriously wear headphones that often to where you guys feel like you have to interpret me with nothing but headphones? Dickheads?
The asshole in me wants to just take a screenshot of you looking at the camera like this and then Photoshop your ears to be way big. Like,
just like, yeah, this is why I wear headphones, guys. Just give me like fucking elephant ears.
You look like that fucking dinosaur from Jurassic Park by the time I'm done with you. Just the... big ear Jacob.
Speaking of drawing stuff, I started back streaming this past weekend, and tomorrow at 8 p.m. is the first viewer stream of me being back. As of right now, the plan is for that to be Jackbox, so be there or be in the box. I'm gonna murder you and put you in a box if you don't show up.
I'm gonna take your housing. Put you in a cardboard box.
Gonna chop you up limb from limb. put you in a box filled with cleaners so that way you dissolve over time.
Walter White?
I'm surprised I kept a straight face for most of that. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Speaking of homeless people, today is Veterans Day. I myself, as you can tell by the name That One Scout Collins, am a scout, a Cav scout for these United States Army.
Why'd you have to segue it with homelessness?
Well, because most of us end up that way.
Sadly.
It's very sadly. Don't worry though, the Army taught us how to be professionally homeless.
How is that?
They teach you how to sleep outside and not die.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Professionally homeless.
I wouldn't call that professionally. I would just say more well prepared.
I mean, if you make money being homeless because, all you do is sit there and beg and you make money, that could technically count as professionally homeless. Got a 20 for a vet. Thanks, man.
God damn. That One Scout Collins, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a serious problem, but I feel like the best way to I don't know. I feel like some of the best ways that you could shed light on shed light on a fucked up situation is just make jokes about it.
Me with my mom.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. The dead one?
Oh, yeah, the dead. Nah, my second mom that I have told absolutely nobody about. This mysterious second mother that I have.
The one that lives in Manford, Oklahoma? That one? The one whose food you ate, whose roof you slept under?
No, that's not a mother. That's a father. I'm talking about a mysterious secondary mother.
My mom. My mom.
God damn it, the cat's out of the bag. Caleb ruined the secret.
You literally call her mom.
I know. I was trying to be suspenseful and shit, asshole.
Oh well.
Yo, before we start, I gotta nerd out though.
Okay, go ahead, hit me.
All right, hold up. Let me get a timer going. All right, cool. So the new Pokemon TCG Pocket game is very addictive.
Really?
I have collected close to 600 cards at this point.
Is that a lot, or is that a little?
It is a lot. And just for you viewers, I have a pack ready to open.
Did you just nerd out so you could stop and play your little Pokemon game?
Open a pack with me, you guys.
Okay, unboxing video, kind of.
Oh man, let's see. We got anything good come up? Oh, see that in the back? We got all right. We got Graplocked. Get out Diglett. We got Rattata, Snom. What do we get? What do we get? Yo!
Hollow Blast.
Dude, that's the alt art Hollow Blastoise EX.
Is that good?
That's really fucking good.
Yippee! Wahoo! You did it!
But no, like, on God, I have been addicted to this game. God, that's the first time I've actually gotten that card too. That's amazing. Hold up, gotta add that to the card decks real quick, just so that way you guys know it's the first time. Boom, there it goes.
I was a very big collector in the Pokemon trading card game, and then I left for college, and then Evan stole all of my cards. And then I started collecting again because I got a few card packs and a couple of boxes from you and Roger, and they're sitting right there on the shelf. I can literally see them. They're next to my camouflage spray paint and Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah?
Are we doing it again?
I had enough to open a second one.
Ponyta.
Oh, this one's gonna be ass.
Nidorina, Cottony, Heartmer, Golduck.
How did you just pronounce Nidorina?
Nidorina?
You said Nidorina. What the? Who the fuck pronounces it like that?
Potato. And
all right, I need 52 gold to open 10 packs. $10. Let's do. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
So each goal. So So tell me a bit about this game. Can you play the actual trading card game with other
Yes.
people?
Yes. So, kind of similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, it's not the full format. Instead of having 5 bench positions, you only have 3. There's no more prize cards because decks are only 20 cards, so it's just first to 3 points. And EX Pokemon count as 2 points. So if you knock out a regular one and an EX, you win. I have lost twice. I've battled online maybe 10 times, so I've got an 80% win rate right now. And then yeah, I still can't believe the fact that I decided to open a pack as a nerd out, and that got me a alt art secret rare.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, man. That might have to be my nerd out strategy from now on.
Just every nerd out every week. I gotta get that ultra rare.
No, but it is a lot of fun, and I enjoy the fact that it's very much not a pay-to-win game. Like, sure, you can buy gold to open more packs, and you can subscribe to the, essentially, Pokemon TCG Pocket Battle Pass, but everything in the game, there's nothing that's locked behind a paywall minus cosmetics. So, like, all the cards and everything that you could get are all available for free. And I feel like that makes it a lot better than some other mobile card games because they heavily rely on, you know, since it's a free game for you to play, they expect you to spend money. That being said, even though it's very free to play friendly, I think it made like 100 million in its first 4 days. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. But playing this also made me want to start getting back into Duel Links, so I'm probably going to re-download Duel Links on my phone and then just do something offhand while I let all the stuff download, because you know how long it takes to download all this stuff whenever you get the app back. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's the one reason I haven't re-downloaded Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is because I wouldn't be able to use my phone for like an hour.
Yeah, dude, it does take a while, but
And then after you get in, they're like, okay, here's all the server-related updates that now we have to sync up with. Sit there for another 30 minutes with the app on. I'm like, you are so lucky this game is fun. You are so incredibly lucky that this game is fun.
But yeah, I just like it because, you know, since I gave up actually buying Pokemon cards because of how expensive of a hobby being a TCG fan is.
Fuck you, Logan Paul.
Yeah, fuck you. No, fuck YouTubers in general, but especially Logan Paul for getting that secret, or not the secret rare, back then it wasn't. It was a Shadowless Charizard, first edition. Fuck you, Logan. If it weren't for content creators, and like, don't get me wrong, I did pack openings and stuff on YouTube, but I was definitely not the problem. I wasn't going out and spending $1 million. I was just like, hey, here's the shit that I got at Walmart for $10. Yeah, but that being said, I'm probably going to go through all my old cards, take out the ones that I like. There's one of the other people at my job that is decorating an entire wall in her room with just Pokemon cards. And I'm just like, do you want a bunch of bulk? I have close to 1,000 that I don't even touch anymore because I don't have anyone in person to play with. So I have to go through those at some point, get out the cards that are A, valuable, 2, I just really enjoy, and then give the rest away.
You said A, valuable, and then 2.
All right, Caleb, so what's the main purpose of today's episode, buddy? I feel like this is more up your alley than mine because I would have to lie to tell stories.
That's called stolen valor.
All right, so here I was in the deserts of
The deserts of New Mexico.
Surprisingly, no. I lived in a very gorgeous part of New Mexico. The desert is really only the southeast. The rest of the state is very lush, mountainous, beautiful. Like, they need to really pander more to their nature whenever it comes to tourism, because the only thing people know of about New Mexico is the Hot Air Balloon Festival. There's way more to New Mexico than the fucking Hot Air Balloon Festival. Not that much more, like, I used to think as a kid living in Oklahoma was boring. God damn. But yeah.
So mostly I've got stories and I can answer questions. Do you have any questions like at all?
All right, this one's more of a joke question. Have they ever done the thing where they pull a dummy grenade, throw it to see if anybody would like cover it up, like in Captain America?
So they've never done that, mostly because everyone had seen Captain America.
Okay, fair, fair.
So what they have are they would still toss grenades at us. There are these things called arty sims, and arty sims stand for artillery simulations. It is a can that you can chuck at something and it goes and it whistles and then it explodes. And so when you hear the whistle, you're supposed to yell incoming and then hit the dirt.
Yeah.
And you basically react to it the same way that you would react to getting bombed by artillery, which means usually someone would be dead
Yeah.
or injured. So drill sergeant would run up and make them scream for help. And usually they would pick the fattest guy there. So your boy got to be the dead guy for a while. They're like, Collins, you're dead. I'm like, scream for help. And exactly that intensity, because if you lean into it, my drill sergeants would end it a bit sooner, if that makes any sense.
Fair, fair.
But there would be a couple of times where one was just really bored and he didn't even have any arty sims. He would just take a megaphone and he would whistle really bored, like really bored, just go.
I can't hear you whistling over the microphone, by the way. Probably too high of a pitch.
Probably. He would whistle really bored and then over the megaphone yell, just say boom. and
Talk about a boom mic.
And then he
talk about a boom mic.
And then we would have to run 200 meters in a random direction, and then he'd walk up, board whistle, boom. We did this for 3 hours.
All right. Second question I had, which is more of a joke question. So there was this guy who was in the military that I saw on TikTok in 2019, and he basically got put in, I forget the exact term, but I'm just going to use detention, like army detention. And he would be watched by one of his superiors, and his thing would be that anytime they would be watching him, he would just jump out the fucking window. Is there anybody that does that in your troop?
Believe it or not.
And he would record himself jumping out the window every time. I think at one point the general was like, okay, this shit isn't funny anymore. You have to stop.
So, did his rank look something like a shield that was upside down?
This was 5 years ago. I would not remember what the rank looked like.
This sounds like a specialist if I've ever heard one. So there's a couple of things that can get you put in army detention. You could be on suicide watch, which means you tried to kill yourself, or you said you were gonna kill yourself. So now you have to sit there, and there's always a guy behind your room. Sometimes it's a non-commissioned officer, sometimes it's an officer, sometimes it's a guy like me, and we just sit there all fucking night to make sure that you don't try anything. There's also some people that lose their privileges to stay in the barracks, because they wouldn't stop doing stuff in the barracks that was completely illegal or out of regs. So sometimes
I'm shorking it. I'm straight fucking shorking it. I got lotion on my shit.
You're allowed to jork it in your fucking barracks room. Are you kidding me? Just not over your roommate.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, John, straight fucking shorting it. I'm straight.
God damn it, man. God damn it. But there's a couple of guys that were like that. We had this one dude. It was like the first few days of basic training, and he just straight up decided to run away.
What?
So here's the deal. So whenever you come down from 30th AG, which is basically in Fort Benning, there's a building called 40th AG, and anytime you're doing any kind of basic training, you're going through 40th AG first, so they can give you all of your equipment, and then they feed you to the drill sergeants.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes it's a 2-day process. Sometimes you're there for like 3 weeks. It just depends on when your next cycle starts.
Okay.
So we had to take a bus from 30th AG to our troop. And the way that it was set up is that in order to go back where we knew the way out was from the bus, you had to go from Delta Troop, which is where I was, past Charlie, past Bravo, past Alpha, past the main squadron building, past the brigade squadron, past the brigade building, past a PX, and then you made it to the highway. So this guy, I don't know what this guy was thinking, because there was no way he was getting off of post if he just breaks for it. Because every single one of those buildings is gonna have like 4 fucking drill sergeants in them. So he takes off running, and then one of the drills is yelling like, "We got a runner!" And so 2 drill sergeants come barreling out of Charlie Troop. They're not our drill sergeants when they tackle the shit out of this kid. And then you've got 4 drills on a dude trying to control him, and it was not great.
Damn. All right.
There was,
Go ahead. Finish up what you were saying.
I've got 2 more stories about dudes about jump out the window dudes.
Oh my god.
These are just personal ones that I've seen. I've heard others. We had this one dude who didn't even make it to basic training because turns out he was on medicine and he lied about it. But when you go to 30th AG, you're not allowed to take any medicines and shit with you. So he's in there for like a week, and his medicines and the medicines that he took start to wear off. So he's hearing voices. He starts off as a little sweetheart, like 17-year-old kid, but he lied about being schizophrenic to try and get in the army because his dad was in the army or some shit. And so he fucking eventually he comes off his meds, has a panic attack at one point, at another point has a seizure, and then what finally takes the cake is that at one point he tries to bite a drill sergeant's face. And I'm just sitting there outside the building watching MPs roll up. And then he's thrashing and kicking, yelling, "Leave me alone! I am a drill private." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
As someone who's not in the military, that's not a rank.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Like, there's plenty of stuff that I don't know, but I know for damn sure.
Your ass better be a fucking NCO if you're gonna be a drill. What the fuck? And then there was this last one. This last one was just a piece of shit. He was just a piece of shit.
Oh, no.
He knows who he is. He's currently in prison now because he got his ass booted from the army, and then he tried to go back home to New York and be a gangster. I fucking hate this man. He is literally their staff duty has this separate room
Yeah.
that's able to have a closed door. You're able to have a little bit of privacy, but you cannot leave without permission because this dude would not stop smoking weed in the barracks. he he kept getting caught smoking weed in his barracks room. So they fucking raided his barracks room and they found a pound of this stuff. Yes.
How the fuck did it get in?
I don't know because he wasn't allowed to go off of post, but apparently he just did anyway. I don't know what was going on, but they found a pound of weed, 3 firearms, and a shit ton of ammo. You're not allowed to have firearms in your barracks room. Each one of those is an Article 15, which is bad. With 45 days of extra work with no pay stacked on for each of those offenses. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. You don't.
Ew.
This man went from an E4 to an E1. I'm telling you, that's like taking your pay and cutting it in half.
Damn.
So here he is. He asks me because he has to be escorted everywhere he goes when he's not in that room. And I volunteered to take him to chow. So he gets in my car.
Is this the one that rolled down the window and started screaming things? You told this story. You didn't tell like the lead up to this story, but you told this part of the story before.
I took him to the hospital chow because the hospital chow is always better than everywhere else because the doctors and the officers and all of those people eat there too. So they can't give us the gross shit in the hospital because then the civilians would be like, this is nasty. What the fuck, guys?
Yeah.
So I take him. I give him food. He's like, I'm gonna grab this and this and this, and the hospital DFAC doesn't know that he's supposed to be escorted. They give me dinner because I was like, hey, I'm supposed to be escorting this guy. Can I like get a plate? She's like, take whatever you want.
Hell yeah.
So he's eating cake. He's eating cake, which he definitely would not have gotten if he went to the fucking normal ass DFAC. He's eating like fucking Salisbury steaks and shit. And then he's like, oh, give me a second. And then he walks 100 feet away from me, which he's not supposed to do, reaches into a bush, takes out 3 Black and Milds and just starts smoking one. I was like, I'm not sure if you're allowed to have those, but I'm just gonna let it slide because I don't know. And then yes, he at one point touches my radio, skips songs that I wanted to listen to as I'm driving from my fucking playlist. He's skipping songs on my radio from my playlist when I already drove him to the hospital to like eat at the DFAC. And then the Jeff Hardy theme song comes up, and we're literally down the street within eye shot of the MP station, and he's out my fucking window doing the Jeff Hardy dance to No More Words.
Here's the thing that pisses me off about that, right? Unless your driver is an Uber, you do not have any rights to the radio in someone else's car.
You touched another man's radio. He didn't even ask. He skip, turn it up, skip, full blast, skip. Whoa, Jeff Hardy. I'm like, you and literally for a split second, I was like, if I just slam on my brakes, this guy is dead. I'm gonna but I pull him back in. I'm like, don't do that. The MP station is right there. And then I drive him back, and then he goes to sleep. And he tries to dap me up, and I let him dap me up because, my God, I'm just done with him at this point. Leave me alone. But yeah, I hate that guy.
All right, here's my next question. Has anyone ever quoted their stats from like Call of Duty, Fortnite, Halo, Modern Warfare, anything like that whenever they're talking about how good they would be?
Oh, you're talking about guys that
That's like, oh yeah, I got like I got a 5.2 kill death ratio on Call of Duty, so I would be great in the military. Do you have any of those?
So I've never had that spoken to my face, and I've had a couple of sarcastic comments like that I've seen that were obviously making fun of those people, but I've never had somebody tell me that they'd be good at what I do because they played Fortnite. I did, and I do occasionally get the, well, I would have joined the military, but and those and then they feel like they need to tell me their life story on why they didn't join the army, or like they want, or the why they wanted to join the Marines but they had this injury or that injury, and I'm like, guys, it's fine.
That's the great thing about the country. You don't have to. Oh fuck.
It's like, and I'm just like, it is so fucking weird because I have to, because they expect me to sit there and go, oh wow, good for you, and I'm like, I just don't care. I just don't care.
My shits that I could give, they're gone. They flew away.
And there was one, and I can forgive teenagers a little bit because they don't really know any better. I've had a couple of 14, 15, 16-year-olds tell me, wow, I'd love to join the army. It sounds really cool. I play airsoft all the time. And I'm like,
You're a teenager. That's fine.
it's not quite the same, but okay. I'm like, you can like airsoft and want to join the army. Believe it or not, there's actually an airsoft course on post, so the airsoft kids that do join the army can actually partake in their hobbies and stuff. It's pretty cool. But I haven't. And then there's a couple of guys that ask me, should I join the army, or should I join the Air Force, or should I join the Marines? I'm like, buddy, I've only got the experience of one. It's like, why? I'm like, do you want to like be paid the same as me but not do as much work? Probably join the Air Force. You want to be paid the same as me and get absolutely shit on? Probably join the Marines. I don't fucking know.
Okay. All right. My next question. You're in the army, correct?
Yes.
How do you feel that Army is a top 20 national team in college football this year?
Woo!
9-0 as of this week.
I'm actually very happy about that. Like, I used to not really give a shit about the Army v Navy
Yeah.
until I figured out the pattern that whenever Army wins, people like top leadership are like, "Wow, let's give the guys a day off."
So, do you think you're going to get a day off if they make it to the, let's say, the college football playoffs this year? Because there's a high likelihood that they do.
That would be really fucking funny, especially if you think about it, some of those dudes aren't in college. They've never been to college.
They're just there.
They're just some corn-fed Kentucky motherfucker who's just like, "Fire football!" It's like he's the guy you would definitely give the belt-fed machine gun to and say, "Go, go," and then he's definitely that guy that would get on all fours and chase the Iraqi children like that one dude from that video. You ever see that video?
It sounds familiar.
They were in either Iraq or Afghanistan, and there was a child that was walking up to the soldiers, but they were like too close to the equipment and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, there can't be any civilians." And this one guy just got tired of telling the kids to fuck off, so he got on all fours and started chasing them guerrilla style, and they fucking sprinted all the way to the houses. You could see in the distance. It's just imagine how terrifying it would be if some dude whose language you don't understand just gets in full kit and a fucking rifle on his back, just starts monkey crawling at you. Oh, by the way, you're a little Iraqi kid who doesn't understand the concept of a flushable toilet. I'm just like,
go back. I want to be monkey.
It's stuff like that where you're like, yes, the traditions are still alive.
Hell yeah.
Fucking with the locals. A true army classic.
All right, Caleb. So, my next question. What is your favorite and least favorite MRE?
Okay,
Yeah, I'm asking the real shit now, brother.
least vegetable, least vegetable, least. Well, if that is anything to go off of, my least favorite MRE is the vegetable crumbles. Those things are. Nobody
I
likes.
know it's ass because your whole camera started shaking when you said ass.
They are awful. It's because I karate chopped at the table on accident.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually knife handing right now.
I thought like just the pure anger and hatred from your voice just caused your camera just caused it to fucking.
But they're ass. They're awful. The snacks are trash. The main course, the entree, is trash. The drinks that come with it, the trash. I fucking hate the vegetable crumbles.
What is the vegetable crumble?
That literally just picture like vegetable like stuffing. And it's vegan, and everything in the pack is vegan. The crackers are vegan. The nuts have 0 salt on them. There's no sauce. The drink packets are vegan protein powders. I fucking hate that thing. I hate it so much. You can't even heat it up because it's not real food. So when you put it in the water heater thing, thing you spit water into.
Yeah.
That when you put it next to it, it never heats up properly because it's not real food. And then you eat it, and it's this concoction of soy and beans or something, and it just tastes awful because it's somehow too wet and too dry at the same fucking time. And it's cold.
As someone who will occasionally partake in some vegan cuisine just because it's a nice change of pace, worse than like if I were to go and get like a spicy black bean burger from Walmart and just throw that shit in my microwave for a few minutes, like worse than that.
Jacob, take that, leave it out on the counter for 2 days, and then throw it in the microwave for 4 seconds. And that's probably, and then take some like very, very old Parmesan cheese that comes in those little sprinklers and just kind of mix that into the consistency of your room temperature-ish veggie burger. And you might have something that's as bad as the vegetable crumbles.
God damn. After saying that now, though, I kind of want to go and get some veggie burgers next time I get groceries.
You know what would be a great Those Nerds on a Podcast episode when I come up there in December?
What?
I just bring MREs and we try them.
Dude, I would be so fucking down. Low key, I've kind of wanted to do that, but I didn't want to ask in case you were allowed to, like, take them. Listen, I saw them eat MREs on Unus Annus, and it's just been kind of a thing that I thought of since then. Sorry, on Redacted. You had to have been there.
They left us too soon as honest.
Too soon. But yeah, like legit, I would be more down for that than you may realize right now if you were actually to bring MREs.
They fill you up, just so you know. And you will shit an entire log after we're done.
Oh no.
Because the stuff is ultra processed and is full of preservatives.
I mean,
so
yeah.
It's going to take all of the moisture from your colon just to get this thing out.
It's a good thing I got this big ass water bottle. I'll probably drink through this multiple times.
Okay, and we should do a 2-parter where it's like we record one part and it's us doing the worst MREs, the vegetable crumbles, and I can force myself to eat them, and I'll make you eat one too.
Yeah, for the sake of content, of course.
Yeah, and then there are 2 really, really popular ones, and my favorite is the meatball marinara sauce. And then the other one that's very popular is the chicken chunks. It's literally just, those StarKist chicken chunks? They just throw that in a bag with a couple of canned packets that say tortilla on it and hand you some hot
tortilla. Hell yeah.
Like literally it's just.
Oh, he's grabbing it.
Like macaroni and elbow macaroni and tomato sauce is almost as good as meatball and marinara. I like, basically, if it comes in tomato sauce or marinara sauce, typically it tastes okay.
It's hard to fuck that up.
It's very hard to fuck that up. The main reason why I like meatball and marinara sauce is because of the snacks. They give you a whole ass oatmeal chocolate chip cookie. They give you a black cherry cobbler that you can also heat up so you can have warm cobbler. It's like mushed up cobbler,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
It tastes really good. They give you a beef stick. They they give you a beef stick. It's a thick beef stick too. It's about as thick as a quarter, maybe about 4 to 5 inches long, like a beef stick.
Ooh.
And then
Ooh.
they give you Italian bread. It's very, very weird bread. It's like bread you've never tasted before because it's bread that never goes bad. But they slapped on some Italian seasoning on it, and you can dip it in the warm meatball and marinara sauce and eat it. And it kind of almost tastes like you're eating like Italian garlic bread. Not quite, but almost, but close enough to where you're like, God, maybe my life shouldn't end after all.
Yeah.
The only drawback, the only drawback
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that they always give you chocolate protein powder drink mix. That's the only drawback. And I'm just not a particular fan of that chocolate protein mix. Not even because it tastes bad. It just never mixes. So it's always like, so you've always just got solid pieces of protein mix and kind of watered down chocolate water. And that's the only drawback of this fucking thing is the
Watered
drink.
down chocolate water. Isn't that just a yoo-hoo with ice?
No, it's like imagine you get like a whole shaker full of like imagine you've got a whole shaker of water ready to go.
Yeah.
And then you took like an actual kitchen tablespoon, scooped out chocolate protein powder and threw it in there, and then shook up the entire like thing meant for like 3 to 4 scoops of chocolate protein powder, and then you just kind of drank that and you're like, ugh, that's it. And then somehow at the very bottom you've got this thing that should have mixed in with the rest but didn't quite.
Now I want chocolate protein, even though you're describing it as disgusting. I want it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, I've got that box. I've got that box, that box. I've got some of the old style ones that's literally just the brown bag like this. And then the newer ones have like it's brown on both sides. The newer ones have just this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the back it's clear and it's kind of smaller and it fits in your bags a lot easier. But the downside of having the clear ones is that you can't shit in them anymore because they're clear.
You shit in the bags?
Sometimes you have to shit in the bags. The reason why is because imagine the enemy is not supposed to know that somebody's there, and then in the woods they find a pile of human shit.
I mean, I guess, but
Like somebody shat here. Who the fuck has been over here to shit here?
sorry guys, that was me.
Well, think about it. Imagine if they haven't been to this area. It's like we haven't been here. Oh shit! The enemy must be here because of this one pile of human shit.
Doo doo.
So sometimes, because they have these things called wag bags, which are bags you're supposed to shit in. They're like,
Hang on. Wag bag?
yes,
That sounds like a fucking poop bag. No, Caleb. Don't tell me you guys shit in dog poop bags.
it's bigger and meant to form around your ass.
I have to look up what a wag bag looks like now.
I've used wag bags in the desert.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
there it is.
Oh man. This
Yep,
they even make like toilet mods for them.
yep. We don't get those. We don't get the toilet mods. But yeah. Sometimes that's what you gotta work with because you can't shit here. I've just gotten used to not letting myself shit for 4 days until I could get to a porta potty.
Dude, I could never.
Like there was this one time when I was holding in a shit for so long that eventually I found this basically ridge mountain in Germany, and there's just a cliff, and nobody's allowed down in the cliffside.
Did you poop
So
down the cliff?
I hugged a tree, and I could literally hear my shit go thump, 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 thump down the cliff.
Oh! Yeah? Yeah, dog?
And then I took out my wet wipes, and then I wiped my ass and then flung them off the cliff. And they made a nice fluttering sound on the way down. And they kind of spun, and it kind of looked like a brown and white fairy kind of fluttering in the breeze. I'm like, this.
I'm gonna say this once. What the fuck?
And then I get back, to the CP, and then there's just helicopters flying overhead. I'm like, oh, I'm like,
They're hunting down your doo doo. They're like, we say shit down there.
And then, like, we had to book it immediately because the enemy aircraft found us.
Damn.
I'm like, I'm glad I took a shit because I wasn't allowed to get out of my Bradley for like 6 hours after that, in case we had to move quickly again.
Damn.
Imagine just having to take a shit and your ass is constantly vibrating from the bulldozer-sized engine that's rumbling next to you.
As someone that can't go more than 1 day without a shit, like,
you're just sweating like.
Yeah. Sometimes, if it's bad enough and I'm in the car and I know there's not a gas station nearby, I just start, like, slapping the fuck out of my thighs.
I do the trick where it's like you kind of press into your like lower belly a little bit, and it kind of helps you relieve some of the
That always
pressure.
makes it worse for me. Like,
Really?
that almost makes me instantly shit if I do that.
For me, it like lets the gas kind of escape, but not the solids almost. It like helps me control my fart to where it doesn't become a shart.
I want to play a game. I have fed all of you laxatives in your sleep. I know you can feel the effects coming now. You have an hour to not shit. If you shit, I will blow up your entire ass. Oh, hell no, Jigsaw. Me sitting there 10 minutes in. I think I can trust this fart. Oh, no!
What was the question again?
Oh, the question was favorite and least favorite MRE, which you already answered, and then you started talking about how you have to shit.
It comes up a lot more than you think. We had this one dude who ate nothing but MREs for like 5 days because he was so sick he couldn't make it to the chow hall, the DFAC.
What the fuck?
DFAC. But so he ate nothing but MREs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for like 5 days. And then he took such a massive shit that it was bigger than my son's arm.
Why did you look at it?
Because he was like, guys, come take a look at this shit. It's fucking huge. I was like, okay, I just can't be that impressed. What the fuck?
If someone tells me, hey, come look at this shit, I'm gonna tell them to fuck themselves.
We haven't had cell phones for 5 months. We got bored. Sometimes you go days and a guy's big ass shit is the most interesting thing that you've ever seen in like a month.
That just means y'all are brain rotted if you went 5 months without your phones and then shit was entertaining.
I mean, if you go 5 months without your phone and see if shits aren't entertaining after that.
No, I need this in case
rough.
my job has to call me and tell me, like, hey, don't come into work today. It's fucking slow. Yeah, it happened to me on Friday. And then I spent, the day working on stuff to start back to streaming.
So, you have any other questions?
I'm trying to think of one good one, because there's only 10 minutes left. I really can't think of any other types of questions.
Let me ask common military questions. At the very top, what is the difference between officers and enlisted service members? A lot.
Yeah. I don't want
A
to go
lot.
into in depth of that because I feel like you've probably explained it to me once, but I wasn't paying attention because it was a lot.
What is MEPS? Hell. MEPS is hell.
MEPS.
MEPS. Military Entrance Process Station.
Hmm.
It is hell because everyone there is actively looking for reasons why you can't join the military. Everyone. Nobody there is your friend. Nobody wants you to join the military at that place.
Gatekeeping motherfuckers.
I had an old man look at my ass.
Is that all you're gonna leave it at? I had an old man look at my ass.
Like he was a doctor, but still.
All right, Sonny, I'm your ass doctor for today. Prepare your butthole. This is gonna hurt. I'm going whole fist on that big boy. Oh. I'm just waiting for a what the fuck text from Summer.
I mean, it's the podcast, so she might be used to it by now.
Oh, I don't think she'll ever be used to some of the things we talk about.
Yeah, it was kind of difficult. I had to go to MEPS 3 times just to join the military. Stupid.
Damn.
Can you tell me the differences between all the military branches? No.
No. I'm gonna be honest, I know air, sea, and land. What's the difference between Army and Marines?
So the Marines belong to the Navy.
So One Piece was right.
Pretty much, yes. But basically, the Marines they started off in 1775. Actually, this Sunday, like literally today, is the Marines' birthday. The day before Veterans Day is the Marines' birthday, and they are 1 year older than the actual country itself.
Yeah.
And basically, their job, or one of their jobs, is they are a raiding force. The Navy needs everyone in this spot dead so they can come in and make a port. Send the Marines. The Marines are literally the only branch of government that the president can directly send in at any time. So the president could be like, I need this thing dead now. Marines are already on the way.
So was SEAL Team 6 Marines?
So the SEALs belong to the Navy, and they directly belong to the Navy. There's a form of tiers within the military, where you've got tier 3, which is all the normal.
Oh yeah, the people that pay me $25 a month on twitch.tv/ThatWonderJacob.
So you've got tier 3, which is like the 82nd Airborne, the 3rd Infantry Division, the 4th Infantry Division, right? And then you've got a step up from that called tier 2. These are considered special operations people, which is like the Army Rangers, Army Special Forces, the Navy SEALs, the MARSOC Raiders, those guys. And then there's tier 1, which is like Delta Force.
Yeah.
And the SEALs are the Navy's tier 2 units. They come in sea, they come in sea, land, and air. And as long as you're and they're very good at going in and killing things and getting out. Going in, killing things, getting out. That's what they're very, very good at. They're also very good at going into the water and blowing shit up in the water, because there's a whole art to that not a lot of people are very good at. So they're very good at that. That's what SEALs do. I'm a scout. My job is to be hidden look at the enemy and to look for the enemy and go, oh, they're right there. Hey, artillery, they're right here. Bang.
Nice.
That's my job.
Hell
And
yeah.
there's and whenever they don't need something reconned, they go, hey, go be security for this area over here. Cool. Oh shit, they're coming right at us. Bang, 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 bang. Hey guys, they're coming right at us. Bang, 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 bang.
Hell yeah.
That's what I do.
Nice.
And if any other, yeah, let's see. Do you represent all the branches or just one?
One.
Yes. Yeah, technically yes. The answer is yes because I represent the army in general, but I also kind of represent the American military in a broader sense.
Yeah.
But, whenever I'm not doing things in an official capacity, there's a reason why I never wear any of my uniform stuff to places that aren't that aren't official events, is because the second I put on my uniform, I'm speaking as a member of the American military, which means if I say anything that doesn't line up with the official stance of the American army, I get in trouble.
So we got to make sure that the official stance is that you should go to w.gg and use code T1NJ or code Scouty for 10% off. We got to make sure that that's an official United States military stance.
I'll put it in a memo.
Yeah, put it in a memo. Just be like, to whom it may concern, W, yeet.
Commission this man.
Imagine W becomes the official drink.
What's the difference between the reserves and active duty? The reserves are reserved, and the active duties are doing stuff actively and constantly on duty.
And if the reserves are having to be called in for something, we are fucked.
Yeah, there's a couple of jobs in the reserves that get called in every year. They're like the people that, hey, we're taking hey, we need people to operate the trains for the tanks because this unit over here is going to Poland, that unit over there is going to Syria, and you guys happen to know how to do this train stuff, come in for a month or two. And they're like, cool. And that's what they do. That's normal. That's why when people are like, can you believe what's happening? And it's just trains with military vehicles and stuff. I'm like, that could literally be anything. That could just be them moving shit to the National Guard because we're downsizing a lot of our vehicles now, and we're downsizing and upgrading. That could be these guys happen to be going on a rotation to Korea, and now now they have to get to the boats. Like, that could be anything.
Yeah.
What would disqualify me from being able to serve? Don't murder and don't do crack in front of the recruiter.
But I was gonna do crack while murdering the recruiter.
How many years?
This is a joke. Government, don't come for me. I would not murder a recruiter while doing crack.
How many years do I have to sign up for? Well, when I had to sign up, the minimum requirement was for 3 years, so I signed up for 3 years. Then I re-upped, but there have been a couple of guys that I know that came in for 2 years. You don't get your GI Bill when you serve only 2 years, though, so they usually sign their contract and extend for another year. What are my job options within the military? Depends on how well you do on the ASVAB. If you score the bare minimum, you can at least be an infantryman. What do you like best about serving? That's a hard question. I'd have to say I do like the camaraderie of the American Army. It's I love the clowns in this circus. If that makes any sense. Believe me, there'd be some clowning going around sometimes. There'd be some clowning.
I'll show you some clowning, big boy.
It's a tradition in my unit to duct tape somebody on their birthday and throw them in front of their NCOs.
God damn it.
You're not the only one that can mew, Max. We should probably stop. The guys who are listening on audio are very confused right now.
Who's listening on audio? We only upload to YouTube.
I don't know. Charity likes to do the dishes whenever she's listening, so sometimes the phone's like literally on the kitchen table behind her.
Hey, Charity, come look at this.
Ah. Could you imagine she just time stamps that moment in the comments and just types nut, 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 nut.
Okay, well, timestamp this too.
Ah.
All right, well,
No.
we're at an hour, so
Okay.
Hell
Happy,
yeah.
Happy Veterans Day. Listen. Even though active duty military like takes up only 1% of the population, we kind of live in a cool time where we know people in our family or just friends and stuff that have served. So if you happen to know somebody like that, wish them Happy Veterans Day, even if you're late, because you're listening to this on a Wednesday.
they'll still appreciate it.
If you for gore, buy them like a breakfast or something.
Yeah, buy me a breakfast.
Buy me a W. Code Scouty at checkout.
Buy me a W. You can still use code Scouty since it's Veterans Day, but just buy me a W.
All right.
See you guys.
See ya.